everybody. All right, we are getting ready to harvest the Concord grapes. It's a beautiful sunny fall day. We've got lots of beautiful grapes here. So here's some of our Concord grapes. These are a slip skin grape. And I'll show you more about this when we make some jelly or jam or butter. I'm not sure what we're making, but look at this. The grape comes right out of the skin, and there are seeds inside of these grapes. So we have two Eastern Concord grapevines, and we'll be harvesting both of them today before the birds can get a hold of them. And over here is a catawba, which has not ripened yet, and all the way over here on the other end is a himrod. It's a green table grape. It's seedless, and it has already been harvested and turned into green grape jelly. You can see my video on that if you'd like to. And when we harvest the grapes, I just take my little scissors here. This is what I'm using. And I just cut them right up next to the vine. We will be doing a very hard cut to these grapes when their leaves fall off and winter has arrived. So you can probably break them off with your hand. I just love to use, just a nice sharp scissor just to be kind to the plant. Whoops. Not kind to the grapes though. All right, but here they are. Hello, I have harvested all of the grapes from both of my Concord grapevines. We've got a pretty big basket here. And I have decided I want to make grape butter because I made some green grape jelly earlier, and that'll be probably enough to last us until next grape season. Making grape butter is super simple. First thing we're gonna do is take these grapes off of the stem and get them nice and clean. When you take them off the stem, keep the ones that are a little bit underripe. They will give a good depth of flavor to the grape butter, and we'll taste it before we put it in jars to see if it needs a little bit of honey as a sweetener. But I think you're gonna be really excited about how this turns out. I will check back with you as soon as I get these washed and pulled off the stems. And we're back. The grapes have been washed. We've got them in a pan. And you'll notice that there's a couple little stems on there, and for what we're making, that is just fine. We're gonna go ahead and turn the burner up to a medium-high heat. We're gonna add 4 tablespoons of water, and we're just gonna mash them up. The reason why it doesn't matter that they're stems is because we're going to strain it once this thickens up. The grapes have been crushed and boiling on the stove for 20 minutes now, and I like this thickness. So now would be a good time to run this through the fruit and vegetable strainer. 20 minutes on the stove, and this has thickened up enough that we can put it through this manual fruit and vegetable strainer. Although I do have the KitchenAid attachment, you cannot use the fruit and vegetable strainer attachment with these type of grapes. It specifically says so in the instruction manual, and although I am known to be quite a rebel when it comes to my very expensive kitchen equipment, I am a rule follower. So we're going to use this, and it's super easy, and we're not making a huge batch, so I'm not too sad about it. Ladle it in, and you just go around and around. That's all there is to it. And the juice will go down into the bowl, and the skins, the leftover stems, and the seeds will remain in the strainer. Once we get all of the grapes through the strainer, we'll put all the juice back into the pot, back on the stove on a medium heat, just at a simmer until it gets really, really thick. I'll check back in with you in just a bit. Here is the strained grape juice. I've got the burner up to medium-high right now just to get it up to a simmer, then I'll turn it down and keep it simmering. I'm gonna cover it with this strained lid because I really want the air to be able to escape and this to really condense down. The grape butter has cooked down quite a bit, and I'm happy with this consistency. You'll just want to cook it down to what you like. If you want it to be a little bit thicker, you can, or just don't cook it as long if you'd like it to be more jam-like. And I've had my canner heating up. You want to have enough water in here to cover your jars. I'm using half pint jars, so that's about how much water I'll need. I've had it heating up during this last portion of cooking down the grape butter, and we are about ready to put these in the jars. Before you put them in the jars, you're going to want to give your grape butter a little bit of a taste. Make sure that it's sweet enough for you. If not, I recommend just a little bit of honey. This is honey from my backyard hives. Hi, the grape butter is ready to put in jars, and I'll show you how I do that. Today I'm using half pint jars. These will be processed in a water bath for 10 minutes at a rolling boil. But first, let's get them filled up. I find that a funnel is super helpful in keeping the jars and the counter clean. Just stick that in. If you can see, it's quite sticky, and that's wonderful. This is a perfect texture. You want to fill the jar up to about the rim line, so give it about 1/4 of an inch to 1/2 an inch of headspace. That looks pretty. I use this tool this end to remove any air bubbles, this end to pick up the lid. So I just want to run this through here. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Make sure there's no air bubbles. Then we'll take a wet cloth or a paper towel and wipe the rim. The purpose of wiping the rim is to prevent any food from sticking to the lid. If there is any food on there, it might not get a tight seal, and then your food can spoil. And we don't want that, right? We want this food to last in our pantry right up until we're ready to eat it. Okay. Then you want to put the lid on. Don't want to contaminate it, so I prefer not to touch the lid. They've already been cleaned and they're ready to pop on. And then the ring goes on top of that. Just finger tight. And since the water in my canner is already hot, I'm just going to use my jar lifter to pop it in the canner. I'll finish up the rest of these jars and get right back with you. We got whole 2 jars. That's it. So we got 2 half-pint jars out of all of those grapes once it had cooked down. So although grape butter is a labor of love, it still is very simple and it really is delicious. I think you will really enjoy the richness and depth of flavor that you get from a grape butter. So this is my pressure canner. I will not be pressure canning these. I will be using it as a water bath. So I have water that, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it's about 1 inch above the jars. And that's how much water you want, regardless of what size your jars are. Once this gets to a full rolling boil, you'll put your lid on and set your timer for 10 minutes. If you're using your pressure canner as a water bath, it's perfectly okay not to seal your lid completely. I personally do, but I just wanted to let you know it's okay to leave it a little bit askew if you want to. Oh, also, when you're using your pressure canner lid, you can take your gauge off if you want to. I don't, but do not put your rocker on. 10 minutes are up. So once your timer goes off, you want to turn off your heat and just move your pot over off of your hot burner and let it sit and rest for at least 10 minutes before you take the lid off. Once this pot cools down a little bit, we'll open it up, take the jars out and set them on this towel here, and we'll just let them rest for about 12 to 24 hours. Hi. The canner has totally cooled off. For you, it might be 10 minutes. For me, it's been like, I don't know,
4 hours.
And when you open it, open the lid away from yourself. So up and away, so that if there is any steam left in your canner, it doesn't get you in the face. And then all you have to do is take your jar lifter, take them out, put them on a towel. And since we only have two, the job is super easy today. And we'll just let these sit for 12 to 24 hours. In my case, we're gonna let them sit until tomorrow because it's evening here now. It's been 24 hours since these came out of the canner, and all there is left to do is make sure that the lid's popped down, which they did. Take your rings off and just, you know, give it a little tug on the lid just to double check it. No harm in that. Then take a wet rag and clean the jar and the rim and just make sure that there's no sticky stuff or anything on there that might mold or get gross in the future. Then you can put your ring back on if you want to. You don't have to, you can store it without the ring on. If you're going to be gifting these for a holiday or sharing them with your neighbors or your friends or your family members, you might want to make sure that the lid stays on it so that they can open the jar. And I do have a video on how to open a canning jar with the ring. I can put a link to that in the description. Last but not least, put the date on it, because if it gets stuck in the back of your pantry, you might not remember, did I make it last year or did I make it the year before? And a label is helpful. For example, like this is a beautiful dark purple grape butter. And I also have some grape jam and jelly in there. And they have very different tastes and textures, so it's always nice to know exactly what you're getting when you open your pantry. And that's all for grape butter, folks. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and happy cooking!